Hello everyone, this is another update and another very short explanation about the Falcon Heavy launch. For one, we have a reconfirmed launch time, which means that just a few hours ago, Elon Musk announced that the launch date is still set for February 6th or tomorrow, which means that there have been no further delays in between. And apart from a last-minute hold, a further delay is becoming more and more unlikely, although of course even a short hold would not necessarily further delay it, since it has a 3-hour launch window. The launch time is still set to 18:30 GMT or 1:30 PM Florida time. And that exact launch window could mean two things, which we don't exactly know yet because SpaceX hasn't released a precise announcement. Their public flight plan only really covers the launch into low Earth orbit, and the further burn from there out to a mass transfer orbit isn't exactly covered. So there's two things this might mean. Either they are going to burn into mass transfer orbit right after the launch. This would of course, due to the orbital mechanics and the alignment as to when you have to burn to get into a mass transfer orbit, mean they would have to put in a short coast phase before actually burning into mass transfer orbit, which of course makes a lot of sense given the extreme workload that first testing the Falcon Heavy is. Either that, or they are going to actually wait for a longer period of time for several orbits before actually burning, which would give them even more time and better communications coverage. In general, if you're transferring to a Mars Hohmann transfer orbit from low Earth orbit successfully, then the time zone over which you are going to burn will be at around 9 PM, which means they could wait for a few hours and then do the transfer burn as the upper stage passes right above their ground station at 9 PM Florida time. But this actually seems rather unlikely. The specific launch window implies that they are probably going to transfer pretty much immediately after a very short coast phase, because the end of the launch window is set exactly where that coast phase will become only a few minutes long and are just so doable. Of course, launch windows specifically for first rocket-type test flights are a bit more complicated, especially when you are testing a rocket, and even more so if you are expecting failure to be a possible outcome. You want that rocket to be well visible. So the daylight and weather conditions might also be setting the launch window and potential launch date delays, as you want to see exactly what is going on with the rocket and collect as much data as possible. And the end of the launch window is set where the sun over Florida would get relatively shallow and potentially not give you the best view of the launch, which means if anything goes wrong you would have less tracking camera data to usefully work with to actually find out what went wrong and improve the design. Either way, what we do know is that the launch window is set in about 36 hours from now, and it is getting exciting. That's it for this short update. There will be plenty more within the last day to launch, and as always, thanks for watching.